Hello everybody, my name is Griffin, talking to you guys from Rishi Outpost, and today I'll be reviewing the comic miniseries, The Rise of Kylo Ren. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So I think this is going to be a bit of a hot take because I've seen a lot of praise for this comic online, and I know the sales were doing really well. So I just want to say that as always, I'm glad when people are enjoying a story even when I don't feel the same way about it. But I have to be honest with y'all, this comic doesn't do a whole lot for me. Don't get me wrong, I don't think it's bad, I just don't think it's that good. In general, I don't really feel connected to the characters in this series, and I think the story was too big to fit into 4 comic book issues. Although I think there's some redeeming qualities that stop this series from being completely unenjoyable. As some of you may know, I'm not the most invested in the characters of the sequel trilogy. I actually do like Kylo as a character well enough, but ever since The Last Jedi, I've found the circumstances surrounding his fall to the dark side to be kind of off-putting, and this comic didn't really change that for me. I'm also not really invested in the canon version of Luke's character at this point on the timeline. He just feels so out of touch with Ben, out of touch with how the Jedi are supposed to be, and out of touch with himself compared to where he was at the end of Return of the Jedi. Snoke continues to be Snoke, that is to say, he's basically just a plot device to turn Ben Solo into Kylo Ren. The newly fleshed out Knights of Ren and the new Jedi students were all pretty bland characters in my opinion. But my biggest problem is this comic doesn't really explain emotionally or logically why Ben goes to the dark side. I understand running away from Luke after Luke almost murders him, but then what brings him to go burn down the Jedi Temple after that? I still don't really feel like I know the answer. The plot of this comic was very ambitious, especially for a 4-issue miniseries, and unfortunately, I don't really think it lived up to its potential. I think this story would have been better suited to be a novel, a book series, or an ongoing comic. I just don't think 4 issues was enough to really do justice to Ben Solo's transformation into Kylo Ren, establish several new interesting characters who are all supposed to be attached to, and show everything that they needed to show to really make this story work. With that being said, I do think there are some well-written scenes that stand on their own. I think Charles Soule is a good writer, I just don't think they're always threaded together in the best way, because there really wasn't enough space given to make that possible. I also think the art in this comic is pretty good. In terms of action, I think there were some cool sequences hinted at in this comic, particularly with Luke and the Knights of Ren, but I don't think the action was given enough panels in order for it to really look as cool as it could have. Once again, I think this series needed to be longer to reach its full potential. Overall, there's still some cool stuff in these comics, so if you're a fan of the sequel trilogy in general, or especially if you're a fan of Kylo Ren / Ben Solo, then I definitely recommend you check them out. But if you didn't really like the sequel trilogy, and especially if you're not a fan of the character, I don't really think this comic will be something you'll enjoy. Well, that's all I have for you guys this time. If you really liked this comic, please share what you enjoyed about it in the comments. And if you liked this video, please do share it, leave a like, a comment, and subscribe to the channel. All of that stuff really goes a long way to helping us grow and make this a more fun community and get us to be more excited and make more videos for you guys as we go forward. As always, thank you for watching. Please stay safe, and may the Force be with you, always.